Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. I know so many of you are totally shocked at how narcissists seem to get away with it. Because here you are traumatized and shredded bare of your health, happiness and resources, and it seems like the narcissist is prancing off into the sunset with their brand new life as if you never existed, and what they did to you was totally irrelevant. Naturally, it's beyond devastating to believe that there maybe isn't a compassionate creator or a healthy natural order of things. So are we really in an upside down universe where the bad people and bad behavior are rewarded and it's the good people who get hurt and destroyed? I certainly used to believe that was true, and I can totally understand why people do think it is, because that's how it appears to be. And what about karma? Where is the karma bus that is supposed to run the narcissist over? And why are our lives falling apart instead? Did the bus get sent to the wrong address? In today's Thriver TV episode, I share with you the truth about all of this. How, despite how it all seems, there is a benevolent universe which not only grants us immense spiritual compensation for all that we've lost, but also delivers divine retribution to the narcissist, naturally, without us even having to do anything to make that happen. Okay, so there are two big sides of this regarding the wondering what will be the fate of the narcissist. And the first is the one that we just briefly touched on, which is about the terrible injustice we suffer regarding what happens to the narcissist after decimating our life so horrifically. And the second is this angle, which also plagues people significantly. The concern about the fate of the narcissist from the viewpoint of not being able to rescue them from the terrible fate of a false self. Many people who've recognized the disordered self that the narcissist is hate the thought of how they're going to end up as a result. So if you're one of those people, please know that I'm going to address this for you as well. So in this episode, it's my greatest desire to help you move out of this trauma and into peace and the bigger picture in regard to what is the fate of the narcissist. And that's really important because I promise you it's an integral key to your recovery journey. Okay, so let's just dive straight in and see where this takes us, because the burning question people ask is this: does karma pay the narcissist back for what they do? And my answer to that is yes. And then people ask, but when's that going to happen? And I answer them with, it's happening to them every second of their very existence, every day. And then people look at me like I'm an alien and they say to me, but he or she got the house and the car, and he or she has the money, the lifestyle, a new lover, maybe even my children. And now I'm alone and I can't even work and I can barely put food on the table. Please know this: the happiness in our lives, none of it has anything to do with what we're getting or what we've got. It's an illusion. And before you think that I'm just giving you some sort of fluffy love and light new age lecture, I want to challenge you to feel into this deeper as I explain it to you. Happiness only is to do with who we're being. Truly prosperous people in the world have the richest beingness, which actually has got nothing to do with what they do or don't have. So there are multimillionaires who have an incredibly healthy beingness, and there are people with no money at all who also have abundantly prosperous beingness. Incredibly rich people can be destitute at that level. Narcissists are totally destitute at that level because there is no beingness. And I mean that literally. There is no true self at home within a narcissist. And I can almost hear the questions that this could be bringing up for you, because you might be thinking, okay, well, Melanie, right now, well, I'm miserable, I'm destitute on all levels, and I'm certainly not having happiness or prosperity on any level at all. What are you saying about my beingness? And what I'm saying or getting to is that you do have the ability to heal your beingness. You can heal yourself by releasing your inner trauma, meeting it and releasing it, so that you do come into a consciousness and an alignment which not only will allow your beingness to flourish, but also from there, you'll be able to get what you want. But this isn't going to happen as a result of trying to create your beingness, because what it will be is a healthy and expansion and extension of your already established beingness. And then, no matter whether you obtain modest or grand things, you will deeply love and appreciate them. Here's one of the most important things to understand when we make our beingness reliant on false sources, meaning people and things outside our relationship with ourselves and our higher power and all of life. It means that we will never love, appreciate, or be appeased with who or what we have. And that is precisely the narcissist's never-ending, pure living hell. Goes like this: no matter what I get, my ego will eventually be bored with it, find fault with it, and need something better to replace it. I want you to imagine this for a moment, thinking that you found the thing or the person to finally take away the screams coming up from an empty, terrible, gaping hole inside you, and then being high as a kite with the relief from that pain, and then discovering that Band-Aid falls off and the inner screams are back again. That's the narcissist's real life nightmare. This is why they are so happy with any new source of narcissistic supply, whether it be a new lover, new car, or new mansion. Then those things all sooner or later become lifeless annoyances again. Not attractive enough, not expensive enough, not grand enough. Somebody else has got a better version than the narcissist. And that is the plight of the walking dead. That's why the narcissist must consume and steal energy, resources, and people's lifeblood constantly. Think about this. Why is there so many rich and famous people who suffer from chronic depression, substance addiction, and suicide? My opinion is, despite having it all, they have never found durable peace and happiness, which they thought stuff, money, and privileges would provide. These people who have tragically ended their lives or substance abused themselves to obliteration, and narcissists do that too. These people may or may not have been narcissists, but the following, I believe, is true. If these people had any true self left within, and they'd met it and healed and loved it back to wholeness, they could have had true prosperity and radiated from within the joy of the life they lived. In real life terms, sitting back here in the engine room of MTE, observing so many real results in regard to thrivers' lives and narcissists, this I see regularly. The people who were abused by narcissists, who are determined to heal and take their focus off what the narcissist is or isn't doing, and who or what he or she is or isn't having, to do that, to release their trauma and come into wholeness, regularly speak of the narcissist coming undone, being caught out, unraveling, and then having court rulings against them. These people take back their power with the narcissist, being unable to affect them anymore. Dr. Christiane Northrup and I spoke about that in my interview with her a few days ago on Hay House, about how in this community more and more people report that narcissists are losing court battles against them and getting their just desserts. And I truly believe that this is more to do with the person reporting this and their beingness than the narcissist copying their karma. And please let me explain why. The universal system of life, whether you want to call it God, source, creation, or consciousness, I believe works like this. It says, I'm going to give you more of who you are being. And for us, if we are being victimized, shell-shocked, resentful, and devastated, the universal cogs of life say, okay, Joe, Anne, or Greg, I respond to your beingness. Here is more of what you are being. And naturally, everything we try to do just unfolds as more trauma and despair for us. However, in the case of the narcissist, there is no beingness. There is no true self home. It's curled up, shriveled up, and catatonic in the corner because the narcissist divorced it long ago and put the false self in its place. The narcissist's entire life is a cartoon cutout with stuff and things that can't even be really felt or connected to, and nothing has any meaning other than feeding the significance of the true self, which only happens temporarily. The narcissist is as disconnected to God, source, creation, consciousness as anything can be. The narcissist is part of a rogue disorder which has no consciousness energy system of its own. In short, narcissism is a virus that is a law to itself, and because it is disconnected from a higher source, there is no ability to tap into the flow of success, joy, love, and true life force. Higher consciousness is not responding to the narcissist. It's on a completely different frequency. And he or she is doing it all to themselves, being in the reality of hell on earth, disconnected from the organic flourishing and nourishing of life as a result of their choice to stay disconnected from that. Okay, so why do narcissists take a real life fall? Why do they lose stuff, properties, access, rights, privileges, and power? A lot of people think they don't, but they do. We see it all the time in this community. This happens when their victims heal and take their power back. More and more every day now, people in this community say that the karma bus has hit the narcissist. But truly, it was their own good inner work. It was their own manifestation karma, because the narcissist with no self is not involved in that equation. There's no energy of their own. This is a really nice example of this, what I'm trying to explain to you. I had a massage yesterday from a lovely lady, and she asked what I do for work. And then she told me how her ex-narcissistic husband terrorized and hurt her and her children for 13 years, and how she finally left him and worked hard on her healing. And when she became anti-fear, and that's my word by the way, which is the ability to have zero fear or negative emotions about him whatsoever, she calmly and clearly took his threats to the courthouse, put an intervention order on him for her and her children. And then she kept calmly walking the straight line of having a parenting order created, which he refused to agree to, no surprise there. And he threatened her again by email. And again, she presented that evidence, and she was awarded full custody in the family court. And this is the deal with the narcissist having no true life force of their own. They need your fear to hurt you. They don't operate as a consciousness component on their own. And therefore, life is giving you more of your being, not theirs. They don't have a being. And as my massage lady said, when I didn't fear him, he couldn't do anything to me anymore. It looked like his karma bus came, but it was really her true self empowered up-leveling that was the creator of what happened. And it's really interesting because when narcissists fall, they really crash heavily. And we might think it's karma, but I want you to think about this. We know there is no cooperation with narcissists, no mutual agreements or win-win outcomes. It's an all or nothing deal. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And when you heal and unleash your true self into the equation, you must create so within, so without, which means your desires and healthy needs are met by the universal cogs and forces of life, and the narcissist loses out what they were trying to do, which was completely defeat you. That's the deal. That's why it happens. And what about narcissists as they age? What happens to them? A lot of people ask that. And this part happens all by themselves, absolutely. So let me explain. It's about the natural order of things. What happens without a true connection to life force, love, joy, consciousness. What happens is this. Everything starts to break down because it's not life force, it's anti-life. It's exactly like any entity that is infected with a cancer. It becomes destroyed. The cancer starts destroying the person, and then because the host is destroyed, the cancer itself is destroyed. The narcissist is infected with the false self, the ego run amok. And it's not only destroying the narcissist's environment by sucking it dry, but also the narcissists themselves. And I wrote about this years ago in my article, which was written, that's a very noisy bird, July 2012. And the article's called, Has the Narcissist Really Moved On and Having a Great Life? And I just want to share with you what I wrote in that article. I just need to put my glasses on to do this. All right, let's have a look. So this is what the article said. Narcissists get old and sick. They lose their looks, their charm, and their charisma. They lose their formidable abilities to seduce, dominate, and intimidate people. They are not the immortal gods that they would like to think they are. Eventually, all narcissists end up facing their tormented self that they've made a lifelong career of avoiding. And eventually, just like the picture of Dorian Gray, wow, is that movie about narcissists or what? One day, the narcissist comes face to face with their most horrifying nightmare. The tortured self that no amount of avoidance, materiality, manipulation, exploits, or lies could avoid. They meet the real tortured self that bears no resemblance to the pathologically constructed false self. So, and I'm going to put the link to that article with this video so that you can go into it and have a look at it deeper. So, you know, I understand for those of you who are really upset, understandably, about the narcissist heading towards this fate in old age. I wrote another article in September 2015 called The Soul Contract with a Narcissist, where I shared about my life between live regression session that was just phenomenal. I really want you to read this article. And it revealed to me, it actually confirmed to me so much of what I already believed. It revealed what souls are doing and where they end up, including the fate of narcissists. So go check that article out, especially if you're heartbroken about what the narcissist's fate is, as I know many of you are, especially if the narcissist is your child or somebody that you deeply love. It can be very, very devastating to be that worried about them. So in my life between life session, I discovered that there's only one place where souls ultimately go to, which is oneness, which is creation's love. We all go back there to where we came from, back to love. And as I healed, this brought me so much comfort and joy to know that hurt people who hurt people also receive love. Because we're all in this together, the human trauma experience. And those who need love the most don't go without. So, as I said, you'll find the link to actually both these videos in the description. So I hope that this episode today has helped you let go of putting your life on hold until the narcissist got their karma. And it also allows you to accept that you can let go and allow the narcissist to be on their journey, and it's all perfect no matter what it looks like. And yesterday I created an Instagram post that reflects this all perfectly, and it mightn't come out for a few days, but I certainly created it, and you'll see it if you're on Instagram. Please join in Instagram. It's amazing what's going on there with MTE. We're all loving it. And anyway, what I talked about in it is this: when we heal and become connected with our true self and true life, we couldn't care less if the narcissist wins lotto, dates a supermodel, or owns all the tea in China, because we know that they can never experiencing the beingness. They can't experience the beingness that we now are experiencing. And we don't hold that up as a punishment to them, because as a true self, having a true life, we want that level of beingness for everyone. And we know everybody is going there one day. It might just not be this lifetime, because ultimately there is nowhere else to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to have a discussion on this topic with you. So please scroll down and leave your comments and questions below. I love answering them. And also, if you'd like to learn more about how to heal for real from toxic relationships and narcissistic abuse, you can sign up to my free 16-day recovery course, which includes an invitation to a profound healing workshop with me, a set of ebooks, and so much more. So to access these, just click the link at the top right of this video. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you like and subscribe so you can get notified as soon as each new video is released. So until next time, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.